Hi guys, welcome to Linux YouTube channel. My name is Ram Mishra and I am your online instructor. So what's in this video? In this video I will tell you how to work with Linux NIS server in rhel8. So guys, let's begin the topic. But before start the lab session, we have to understand few points, which is what is NIS server and their use cases. So for the demonstration purpose, I have a lab scenario for you. Please look at that. Guys, this is my NIS server lab setup environment. So the first question come in our mind is, what is NIS? NIS means Network Information System. NIS is a distributed naming service. It is a mechanism for identifying and locating network objects and resources. It provides a uniform storage and retrieval method for network-wide information in a transfer protocol. NIS allows a central server to manage password authentication, host services, which would normally be provided by the local files like etc passwd, etc shadow, or etc groups. So basically NIS use client server architecture, and NIS servers provide services to the NIS clients. Okay. So what I'm going to demonstrate to you in this video, here I have two trusted virtual machine. First machine acting as a Linux NIS server. This one, I'm talking about this one machine. Okay. And this machine having the host name server1.example.com, having the IP address 192.168.0.1, and the running release OS version is rhel8 8.0, rhel 8.0. Okay, so this machine we will configure as NIS master server with NIS domain name. So NIS domain name is, in my case, that is example.com. And we also make few NIS user like NIS1, NIS2, and something like that. This system used as a centralized management server in our lab environment. Okay. And if you are talking about the other hand, we have a second machine, that Linux NIS client machine acting as a NIS client machine with the host name station1.example.com, IP address 192.168.0.2, and the running OS is rhel 8.0. Okay, and this machine use NIS for user authentication. So after configure this machine as NIS client, I would be able to log in with NIS user from NIS. Login with NIS user from NIS client machine in centralized environment. So whatever the user we have created in this machine, we are able to log in from here NIS client machine after configure the entire setup. Okay. So guys, this is the thing we are going to do. So let's begin the lab session. Guys, this is my Linux terminal, and currently I am on the server side. So I clean the screen, and first of all I will show you the host name, IP address, and the OS release version of this machine. So if I talk about the host name command will be hostname ctl. So you can see that the machine name is currently server1.example.com, and currently I am using Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.0. And if I talk about the machine name, machine IP address, so I can go with hostname -i. Yeah, currently I'm using 192.168.0.1. Okay, so we have to follow a few steps to make this machine act as a NIS server. So first step is to install required package for the NIS server. So for this, yum repository should be configured properly. If you don't know how to configure the local yum repository, you can view my previous video how to configure yum in rhel8 from my playlist. So the command would be yum install, and the package name. The package is ypserv and yp or rpc bind. So we require these two package. Okay, rpc bind. So press enter. So these two packages are required to make this machine act as a NIS server. So just wait for a couple of minutes to install these packages. It's verifying. Okay, it's completed. Okay, so now move to the next step, which is name resolving process. So it is very important in NIS client server environment, both machines should be properly communicate with the host name with each other. So for that, either we have to configure the DNS server in our environment, or we can take the help from local resolver, that is /etc host file for the same purpose, so which act as a local name resolver. Okay, so I'll show you my /etc host file. If I open with cat command host file, look at that, where I have put up NIS server and NIS client machine name with their associate IP address. So entries are in a such way, first of all you have to mention the IP address, whatever the IP address you have, then after the machine name, the host name, okay, and then after you can put up your aliases name, shortcut name. Okay, so let's verify the name resolving process with the ping command. So if I go with ping station 1, let's see, yeah, you can see that I got the proper response from station 1. So in case you don't have the DNS in your working environment, you can put up the entry like this way. Okay, so I press Ctrl C to stop and quit from there. Now move to the next step, which is assigning the NIS domain name and put up the entry in /etc sysconfig network file. So for this I use the command yp domain name. Yp domain name and the domain name is example.com, in my case example.com. so yp domain name, this command is used to show and set the NIS domain name. So if I run again yp domain name, and let's see what happened when I press enter, you can see we have set our NIS domain name, that is example.com. Now make this entry permanent. So for this we have to put up the entry in etc sysconfig network file. So I open network file and created by Anaconda, great, say NIS domain, and domain name is example.com. so put up the entry here, NIS domain, that is example.com, save and quit from there. Great, so let's verify one more time. Typo error, example, example.com, save and quit. Great, now move to the next one. Here we have complete this step. Now finally start the services. So for this we run the command systemctl enable -- now. The service is rpc bind and yp serve and yp xfrd and yp pawswd and NIS domain name. So these services we have to make it permanent on and enable also. YP EWSWD, sorry, this one. Okay. Now move to the next step, make some user on NIS server and then update the database. So I run the simple command user add to make a normal user NIS1. Similarly, I make one more user for testing purpose, that is NIS2, and assign the password using password command to the both user, NIS1 as well as NIS2. So passwd NIS1, assign the password, I said 123. Okay, repeat the same one, 123. Great, go with the second user NIS2, 123. Okay, 123. Okay, now let's verify the entry of these user using id command. So id NIS1, it's successfully created. Again with NIS2, it's successfully created. Okay, now finally update the NIS database. So for updating the database we have to run the script usr lib64 and yp yellow pages yp init small m. Press enter. It says next host to server1.example.com, type Ctrl D. So I press Ctrl D. Are you sure to continue? Is this correct? Say yes. I press Y and let's see what happened. Updating. So it's updating everything like passwd file, group, host, RPC protocols, mails, aliases, everything. So it is successfully updated. Now move to the final point. Because I am using rhel8 and where SELinks is default in enforcing mode, I'll show you. If I run the command get enforce command, let's see, its currently mode is enforcing mode. Okay, so if I even if I run the SE status command, let's see, you can see it is enable and current mode is enforcing mode. So I'm not going to change SELinks mode or disable it. Even I'm going to enable some boolean values related to the NIS server so that we can work with the secure NIS SELinks environment. So now time to enable some NIS related boolean values, which is very important if you wanna work with enforcing mode environment. Okay, so I run the command set sebool hyphen capital P for make it permanent on, and first one is NIS enabled on. So it will take some time, and on the background side it will allowed or on NIS enabled. And similarly we have one more. So either you have to follow SE Linux standard rule, or you have the option to change the SE Linux mode from enforcing mode to the permissive mode, or you have the option you can also disable it, but I always prefer to work with the enforcing mode. It is more secure, and it is not a good idea to always going to be disabled or set in the permissive mode. So rather than you set in permissive mode or disable mode, go with the enforcing mode and follow the standard rules, whatever the rules are mentioned in SE Linux. So here I just on the boolean value of NIS underscore enabled. So it will take some time, just wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, it's successfully on, and let's enable one more. Say domain can map files on. So this is also we needed to enable it. So this is the final step we have done in my NIS server side. And now move to the NIS client's machine and configure it as work as an NIS client. So from here I'm going to SSH to my client machine. I open one more terminal from here, and I'll just make it large for you first of all. Okay, so okay, now SSH 192.168.0.2. so this is my client machine. I assign the root password. Okay, look at that, root at station1.example.com. so first of all I will show you the host name of this machine. Host name CTL. Look at that, the machine name is station1.example.com. currently I am on Red Hat. I'm working with Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.0, and the machine IP address is host name -i, that is 192.168.0.2. okay, so we have to configure few steps to make this machine act as a NIS client. The first step is to install NIS client related package. The package is yum install yp bind, then rpc bind, and odd job mk home dir home directory, make home directory, okay, -y. So we have to install these packages. These are few required packages for act or make this machine acting as a NIS client. So packages going to be installed. installing, 7 out of 7, verifying. Yeah, complete, successfully complete. Okay, now move to the next step where we have to inform about NIS server domain name. So again we run the command yp domain name, and domain name is example.com. got it, the same domain name. And we also save this entry into etc sysconfig network file. Do not forget to put up the entry here. So sysconfig network, just the same entry, NIS domain example.com, save and quit from there. Okay, now in the next step we have to put up some entries in yp.conf file, like domain name and server host name, which act as a NIS binding configuration file. So that is very important file. So I open etc yp.conf file, and here I have to put up some entries. So if I go to the line number 4, I just modified line domain. In my case it's not NIS domain, it's example.com, ple.com, and server would be, in my case, that is, what is your server name, NIS server name, that is server1.example.com. save and quit from there. Okay, and let's verify the entry in etc host file. Remember, name resolving should be properly configured. So if I run the ping server1, sorry, it's not cat, it's ping server1, you get that. I got the proper response from server1.example.com. okay, so I just put up the entry in etc host file as well as yp.conf file. Look at that, domain, the domain name example.com, server, and the server1.example.com. save and quit from there. Now move to the next and final step. In the next step, you have to configure this machine as an NIS client machine. So for this I use auth select command. So that is very important, auth select command. So this command is used for select system identity and authentication sources. So I select auth select NIS -- force. So once I press enter, let's see what happened. See, look at the message, profile NIS was selected successfully. So this command will connect to this machine from NIS server. Now into the next step, we enable home directory feature while we log in with NIS user on the NIS client side. So again I go with auth select command and I enable a feature, enable feature, which one, with mk home dir. Press enter. Okay, this feature is enabled. Now finally enable and start the services. So the command is systemctl enable -- now, package service name rpc bind, then yp bind, then NIS domain name and odd job day. Okay, press enter. Okay, now we have successfully completed all the steps. Let's verify the entry of NIS server. So first of all, I have the command yp which command. So once I press enter, yp which command shows you the host name of NIS server from which we have connected. And if you run the yp cat passwd command, that is very important, yp cat passwd command, and once I press enter, let's see what happened. Oh wow, great, look at that, NIS1 user as well as NIS2 user, both user. So it will show me the user information of NIS user from NIS server into this machine. So here we can see the details of the NIS user. If we grep local user account information, we can see that there is no NIS user should be available. So if I go grep grep NIS1 from etc passwd file, let's see what happened. Look at that, we find out there is no NIS1 user locally available present in this machine. Similarly with NIS2 user, if I go with the NIS2 user, let's see, even if I run the command id NIS1, I grab the ID, that is 1000. So this is information coming from my NIS server. So now it's time for testing. So now I'm trying to log in with this NIS user on this local machine. So for this I run the use SSH command, SSH NIS1 @ and the machine is station1.example.com. Rather than I am using server1.example.com, I am using SSH NIS1 @ station1.example.com. Okay, let's see what happens when I press enter. Are you sure to continue? Yes, I am. Give the password. Password is 123 123. I press enter. Let's see. Okay, look at that. I got the message creating home directory for an NIS user. So as you can see, I log in successfully and I got the message creating home directory for NIS one user. In the similar way, even if I try to make some file, I can also make it. Look at that. And the user inform UID and GID is also NIS1. So guys, this is how we can work with NIS1 user, as well as I can also log in with NIS2 user, and this is how we can create the entire NIS lab server environment in our production environment or our working environment in rhel8. Okay, and finally this is the end of this topic. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned new things. Soon I will come up with another new interesting topic. Till then, keep practicing. If you feel something I have missed or you wanted to know more something this, please leave your comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates. And if you like this video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon button for the latest update. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.